The next part we're going to make for activity 5.7 is the circular pattern part, or part number 4. Now this part will use a combination of revolve, the hole command, and circular pattern. So the first thing you need to do is create the base shape, which is done by using this sketch in the top left hand corner of your activity sheet under part 4. And you're going to create this L shape with a rotation axis, and we're going to revolve that in order to make this solid shape it shows. So I'm going to go ahead and jump over to Inventor, create a new part, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new sketch on my XY plane. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a rotation axis. So I'm going to use the line command, change that to construction line, and it doesn't really matter how long this is, just as long as it's parallel with this axis, so I'll just place it there. I'm going to uncheck construction, and then I'm going to go back and take a look at my activity sheet, and I see that this L shape is inch wide at the bottom, ½ inch wide at the top. Overall height from the rotation axis to the top is 2.5, and from the rotation axis to this part is 1, and then from the rotation axis to the bottom is 0.375. So I'm going to go ahead and make 2 rectangles that are approximately the right size. You could use the line command to do that too. I just prefer using rectangles. So I'm going to grab the rectangle command, zoom out just a bit, and make the right hand side of the L, and then make this other portion of the L as well. Hit OK. Now I want to dimension the overall width at the bottom, left to right, should be 1 inch. The overall width of this side at the top should be 0.5. If I go back to my activity sheet, I know the height from the rotation axis to here is 1, or from here is 2.5. So I'll dimension from rotation axis to here is 1 inch. From the rotation axis to the top is 2.5. And then I know that the dimension from the rotation axis to the bottom is 0.375. So axis to the bottom, 0.375. Okay, so we have that sketch completed. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish sketch, and I want to revolve this sketch that I just made, so I'll grab the revolve command. I'm going to select the profiles. In this case, since I use rectangles, I have 2, this profile and this one, and then the rotation axis, which is that initial line that construction line that I created. And it'll immediately show you a preview of the shape, which looks good. So I'll hit OK, and I've finished up the revolve portion of this part. So the next thing I need to do is place the initial hole that I'm going to pattern around. So if I jump back to my activity sheet, I'm going to zoom in here just a little bit, and you can see that I have a 0.5 inch through hole, and that hole is located 1.65 inches from the center point of the center hole of this part. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to Inventor. I'm going to start a new sketch on this face, and I'm going to place a point along the y-axis, and just in approximately the correct location. I'm going to grab my dimension command. I'm going to dimension from the center point to that point, and that distance should be 1.65. And I'm going to finish that sketch. And then I'm going to grab my hole command. It automatically selects it because it's the only one. I need this to be a 0.5 inch through hole, and it should say through all, and it should just be the drilled hole, not counter bore or countersink. And hit OK. And I'll have that hole. And the next thing I'm going to do is pattern this around. So if I go back to my activity sheet and scroll down, you can look down here in the instructions, but we're going to use circular pattern, and we need to add 10 total holes, which includes the first one. So if we go back to Inventor, I'm going to grab the 3D circular pattern command. I'm going to select the feature, which is the hole, not the part, but just the hole itself. I want to select the rotation axis, but I don't really have one at the current time. I have a couple options. I can probably go back and find it in the origin folder and use one of these original axes. I can use this original x-axis, but I don't want to do that. I want to go up to work features and axis, and let me actually hit escape and get out of that origin panel there. I'm going to select axis, and I want to select this center cylinder. And if I do that, it adds a work axis to the browser, which is the center point of that cylinder, and I can use that as my axis of rotation. So grab the circular pattern command, grab the hole feature, select rotation axis in the panel, and then select that work axis that I created, and it'll show a preview of your pattern. You need a total of 10 holes. So if you count these around, including the first one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and hit OK. And it's going to create that hole pattern in that plate. Now to finish this up, make sure you go over to the browser, right click on on work axis, and uncheck visibility so you can't see that. Go to the home position. Actually, in this case, I want to go to this side here, and this part is now complete. Make sure you save that part as per the instructions. If you scroll down to the red arrow, it is circular pattern _ first initial last name, and save that to your 5.7 folder.